Assalamu alaikum. I'm so excited to be here. The last time I was here was during the peace campaign in 2016. That was almost 3 years ago. And I spoke at this very podium. I had to co-speak with the National Chief Imam, His Eminence, the Imam of the Republic of Ghana, Sheikh Osman Nuno Sharubuto. And we also had a very handsome, dark-looking, eloquent chief in the person of Nana Kwabena Nketia IV, the Oman Hene of Isikado traditional area. So I'm filled with so much joy and elation to come back to this beautiful auditorium. And Mr. Chair, I would stand on existing protocols to welcome everybody here. Mustafa Didat, for the past few weeks, has been working frantically with me, comparing notes, checking my calendar to make sure I would be able to come to this beautiful oil city again. And Brother Alaru has been helpful throughout our movements since I came. I can see my mothers and sisters and young people from the madrasas. Thank you so much for making time. Haj Saeed Jallo, many other people in this beautiful place that are working as torchbearers of Islamic activism, JIMSA, youth groups, everybody. I thank you so much for making time. As I entered into this city, I felt there was a lot of apprehension. People feel badly battered by the events of recent months. As someone who works hand in hand with our very topmost security couples, I have some more information than maybe the average Ghanaian on the very tragic incident that has beleaguered this great city in the past few months. I'm here to give you hope and to tell you that in life, you can't win all the time. In life, you win some and you lose some. No matter how painful the loss is, Allah will always provide you consolation, solace, and the fortitude to rise again. And I have no iota of doubt in my mind that the reputation of this beautiful city, Takoradi, will be restored. And not only investors, even Donald Trump will feel safe to come to Tadi, inshallah. And today I'm going to talk, and my brother who spoke on Ruqya gave a very good preamble. And if I don't forget, because this is not part of the script, before I leave, I'll give you a few additional security tips. Security and safety, the Islamic perspective. Security as a general term means the safe situation in which individuals in society live without feeling trapped, susceptible to danger, or threatened by anything. Security is when our kids can bid us farewell and go to school and come back in peace and not in pieces. Security is when the state doesn't use its bully pulpit to use coercion to dispossess you of what you own. Security is when fellow Africans are not treated with xenophobia, especially our brothers from Nigeria, who, for the activities of a few, have been generalized as bad people. Security is when we stretch out the olive branch to them and embrace them without vilifying them, victimizing them, or stigmatizing them. Because crime has no religion. Crime has no nationality. Crime has no race. And crime has no ethnicity. So it will be the height of injustice to single out Nigerians as the bad nuts amongst us. There are good Nigerians and there are bad ones, just as there are good Ghanaians and there are bad ones. In a verse which has already been quoted by my brother Mustafa Didat, Surah Al-Hujurat, Quran chapter 49, verse 13. Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha, wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu, inna akramakum 'inda Allahi atqakum. It says, people, we created you from a man and a woman, Adam and Eve. And flowing from these two people, we created you into pupils and ethnicities. Indeed, the most dignified of you before Allah is the most pious. So please, maybe one or two of the guys involved in the kidnapping case was a Nigerian, but it doesn't mean all Nigerians are bad. We know the important role Nigerians play as fellow Africans in our economy. Just look at the cleanup in the banking sector that happened recently. Many Ghanaian banks couldn't survive. But if I should sample people and ask them, what bank do you save with? If you save with a bank, you have trust and confidence in those who manage the bank. Some will tell you, I save with GT Bank. GT Bank is not a Ghanaian bank, it's a Nigerian bank. Some will tell you, I save with Access Bank. Access Bank is not a Ghanaian bank, it's a Nigerian bank. So if we can trust Nigerians with our money, I think we can trust them with our lives as well. And so Nigerians impact Ghana in so many ways. And let's not lose sight of the pull-push factor. As people are calling for Nigerians to be ostracized, they should be removed from Ghana, know that there is an overwhelming population of Ghanaians also living in Nigeria. And for people like the chairman or Haj Said Jallo, who belong to an older generation, at first people were not going to London and New York to look for money. They were going to Agege in Nigeria. That was like our Abutre. So a lot has happened. And the events of the early 60s, late 60s and early 70s, where we sacked them. We sacked all Nigerians. We said Kokrom. And they also retaliated and said Ghana must go. So let's not lose sight of the fact that it's a symbiotic relationship between us and our neighbors. So please, the things I've been told since I came, that people have kicked Nigerian tenants out of their houses only because of this incident. Maybe the one you are victimizing doesn't know anything about what has happened. So Islam does not encourage collective victimization. Let's deal with those who are the bad guys and deal with them squarely. Security is a central plank or pillar in creating a progressive society. That was why when Allah ordered Prophet Abraham and his son Ishmael to raise the pillars of the Holy Kaaba in the holy city of Mecca, Abraham alayhi salam made some key requests from Allah. This is captured in Quran chapter 14 verse 37. Abraham said to Allah, Rabbana inni askantu min zurriyati biwadin ghairi dhi zar'in inda baytika al-muharram Rabbana liyuqimu as-salah faj'al af'idatan min an-nasi ta'wi ilayhim warzuqhum min ath-thamarati la'allahum yashkurun. He said, oh Allah, I've left a section of my family, my younger wife Hagar with her son Ishmael, in a valley that knows no vegetation. Oh Allah, I pray that you make them prayerful. And number two, let the hearts of men gravitate towards them. And then number three, bless them of the fruits from which they will eat. But before then, he had told Allah in an earlier verse 35, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا وَاجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامَ. He said, oh Allah, make this town, make this city a safe one. So safety and security are the bedrock upon which you build every civilization. And if a country or a city loses stability, peace and security, instead of people gravitating towards it, people will be averse to coming to it. So that tells you it is important to leave no stone unturned. And most of the time we attend meetings about Ghana's security, and in all humility, I sit through some of the topmost security meetings in terms of how much we should spend, our defense budget and all that. We know that the role of the leaders of every country, number one, is to ensure the safety and security of the citizens. No doubt, security is the fulcrum around which every civilization revolves, and it is key for socio-economic, cultural, and political prosperity at every point in time in our lives as human beings. But sadly, recent events in this beautiful city of Takoradi has left a trail of fear, and a foggy firmament of apprehension hangs overhead. Last night, as we drove through this campus to go for a radio interview with Premier 100.5, Alaru was behind the wheel, and then I was with Mustafa Didat. Then we saw a young man. I suppose he was a student, or he is a student of this great institution. So we stopped, and then we called him. We said, "Can you direct us to the radio station?" He said, "Yes." But you know what he told us? I said, "Okay, then hop into the car. That will be much, much easier." And everybody knows it rained yesterday, so he was drenched in water. But the guy said, "No, I can't join you. Let's go. You can be driving while I walk." And all of us have been to uni before. In the university, one of the greatest things that can happen to you is when you get a lift or a ride. But to have students run away from free rides sums up the fear and apprehension that has engulfed this beautiful city. So I'm not here to tell you anything you've not heard from, and I'm not going to quote anything your scholars here have not quoted from the Holy Quran. I'm just here to imbue you with hope that, of course, trial to Allah says we will test you with a lot of things, including fear. So this fear over the city of Tadi is a test from Allah. And the Holy Prophet said, never has Allah brought an ailment without a cure. That is why when you have malaria, you have the drug to take. And at every point in time, you know, kidnapping looks like invincible. It looks like this thing has come to stay with us. It hasn't. With time, we will all even forget that there was anything called kidnapping in this beautiful city. At every point in time, the test comes. With time, Allah dissipates that test, with or without our contribution. Young people, some years ago, when we went for a haircut, there was a line we had through our head. It was called a boy. I don't know how it is called in Thai. The sheikhs were unhappy. Why would you do a boy? People were preaching against it. It was a sign of the misnomer this society was suffering from. But today, do you see anybody with a boy? Not even a girl will you see anybody with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the test, and he took away the test. Then a time came, people were putting on earrings. You see a gentleman dressed like a woman with an earring. Now, a decent person wouldn't put on an earring. Very few people do that. Then dreadlocks, Rasta. Since I came, I've not seen a single Rasta person in Tadi. There may be a few, but Allah brought that test. The test is no more. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought this kidnapping test, and Allah is going to single-handedly rid this city of kidnapping, inshallah. So وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ, we will indeed test you with something of fear, وَالْجُوعِ, and famine, وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ, and we will reduce you in terms of life. Tadi has lost 3 precious lives. It is a test from Allah. We will also test you in your wealth. وَبَشِّرُ الصَّابِرِينَ, but give glad tidings to those that are patient. يَا أَهْلَ هَذِهِ الْمَدِينَةِ اصْبِرُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ وَعَدَكُمْ بَعْدَ خَوْفِكُمْ آذَى أَمْنًا. People of this city, be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to replace this fear with security and stability. In closing, I would like to mention a few other points that I think are important. We should learn to be each other's keeper. Let's go back to our pristine African values of caring about each other and checking up on each other all the time. Living in a communal way is the best and surest way to ensure security. Families have now turned into individualistic classes of people. We have created an artificial class system where each couple wants to live in isolation only with their kids. We erect huge walls around our homes and inscribe on our gates, "Beware of dogs." We live in so-called self-contained apartments where we don't even say good morning to each other, all in the name of privacy and minding our own business. This attitude is alien to us as Ghanaians. This attitude of individualism is alien to us as Africans. People die and their corpses begin to smell in their apartments, and their next door neighbor doesn't know because they don't even talk to each other. They don't even greet each other. All in the name of living in a modern or so-called 21st century where you live individually. Let's change course and go back to our roots. State security agencies have a key role, and I'm happy our chairperson is a leading figure within the Ghana Police Service. And of course, confidence in the Ghana Police Service has plummeted because of how information was handled in the case of this kidnapping, tragic kidnapping episode. So our state security agencies have a key role to play to instill confidence in the people of this beautiful city. The Ghana Immigration Service should screen foreigners that use any of our ports of entry into this country. Maritime security should do more to get only the good people coming through our ports. Aviation security should make sure those who come through Kotoka International Airport turn up as assets rather than liabilities to this country. The state should further resource our border patrols so that they can have the DNA gadgets and other forms of sophisticated state-of-the-art gadgets to make sure only the good guys come into this jurisdiction. Security is indeed a collective responsibility, and all of us have a role to play. Imams, pastors, chiefs, youth activists, and opinion leaders, our mothers as well. And to our mothers, 15 years ago, when we came home with a wristwatch, in the morning, you would tuck in our shirts, make sure we put on the nice pair of socks and a spanking, new pair of shoes. You would check us up, and when we came home with a Walkman or a wristwatch, your mother would reprimand you and ask you, "Mohammed, where did you get this from?" But today, unfortunately, a 22-year-old comes home with a nice car, and his mother says those who talk about him are envious of her and her son. People go to houses they want to marry legitimately to our sisters, but because I came on a bicycle, a Sakawa guy comes with a nice car and he's given preference. Why would a son buy you a ticket to Hajj when you know he has no college degree, he doesn't work in any office, and he doesn't do any handiwork? When society begins to question people's sources of ill-gotten wealth, then we'll be able to make progress. What happened to the 3 beautiful girls? Why capture girls and kill them? We know about kidnapping. You kidnap for ransom. And videos of the mothers of the girls I see on TV don't show they are from a wealthy background. If you want to capture somebody or kidnap somebody for ransom, you kidnap somebody from a wealthy family. You make a demand and you free the person. But when the person is killed in cold blood, and we can't even trace other organs of the people, then you should read the get-rich-quick syndrome we are facing in Ghana. And the media hasn't been helpful. Why bring juju people, money doublers on TV? They charm money, they conjure 20,000 cedis, while they are being showered with praises, they will just be spreading the money, and then ask you to bring a mobile money transaction of 200 Ghana before you see them. Why don't you use the money you have conjured? It is these, miscreants in society, charlatan people, who unfortunately bear the names of malams. A malam is a muallim. A muallim teaches the Quran. He teaches you virtue. Don't call them malam. They are juju people. It is these people that make prescriptions. I want the tongue of your sister. You don't buy a tongue off the shelf in a supermarket. You kill somebody to get a tongue. I want somebody's liver. I want somebody's heart. And I want the heart fresh. So people are kidnapped and killed for rituals. All because we want a sense of belonging. So it starts with our mothers. We trust our mothers more than we do our fathers. When we bring things you know we can't afford, reject those things. A family in Accra, I'm told, set a very good example. His son just, the man realized his son just came out of nowhere with so much money, doing great things in the community. You know what he told his wife? He said the day she cooked food from that ill-gotten wealth, he would curse her. That was what the man told his wife. But today, before the boy even comes home, we are embracing him. There are young people who transfer $1 million. Where did you get that money from? When society begins to question people, their sources of wealth, then we'll be able to make progress in tackling this thing. So the Tadi incident for me was a spiritual killing of innocent young people, because some people would want to go and get rich quickly. And again, Imam, you did a great job, Imam from Cote d'Ivoire, when you mentioned social media. We should be careful how we use this powerful tool. Be careful when somebody you barely know on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram says you should meet them face to face at an odd hour in an obscure place. Don't try to be a slave queen, jumping from one stranger to another just because you want to use the latest iPhone. There is a partner I have. We are like associates. He is a business guy. A day or two ago, we were having a conversation. He said, a Muslim young lady can tell you, I want iPhone 11 Pro. And you know what iPhone 11 Pro? This one came before iPhone 11 Pro. And I don't even know why I bought this one. iPhone 11 Pro is about 10,000. So why would you ask a guy to give you 10,000 to buy a phone? Why don't you even say, set me up? Let me start a trade with the money. So in people's, insatiable desire and appetite to get the latest, and in Ghana, you talk about the latest everything. The latest car, the latest design in terms of building, the latest clothes. Very soon, even babies will look for latest babies, even though God Almighty has decided how babies come into the world. So in people's desire to keep up with the Joneses, sometimes you don't know people, you would want to meet them. In wrapping up, I would like to say the Holy Quran assures us that all of this is going to pass, and soon all shall pass. I'll quote one verse from the Quran and do a little translation in Hausa and Twi. In closing, in Surah An-Nur, the chapter called The Light, Quran chapter 24, verse 55. Allah says in the Quran, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, who believe and do the right thing. لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْعَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. He will make them successors. He will establish them on earth, just as he did to those that came before them. وَلَا يُمَكِّنَنَّهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَى لَهُمْ. And he will establish for them this religion, Islam, which he is pleased for them to follow. وَلَنُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. And Allah says, we will replace this your fear with peace and stability. So inshallah, I hope that next time when I come to Takoradi, I would come to Takoradi when this fear would have completely dissipated. Anche ndang agurguje ndunkule maganan da nayi in tarjama a yaren Hausa. How many of us speak Hausa? Show by hand. Please show by hand if you speak Hausa. Very few people speak Hausa. How many of us speak Chi? Oh, okay. How many of us speak Fanti? Are there people here who don't speak any local language? Some people have not raised their hands. So if you are foreigners, we know. Are there people who speak Arabic here? Show by hand. Okay. Interesting. So this is a very diverse audience. And so should I speak Hausa or Tree? Should I speak Fanti? I can't speak. Should I speak Hausa or Tree to sum up in 5 minutes? Okay. My Tree is not good, but I'll sum up in 5 minutes. Emi say, Nisi ewa Takoradi say, Abo nipa bebre ehu. Po bata di mpoa because of ne yahwe ewo TV so, ene nsema yate ewo radio so. O ba na wakoma ebo periperi. Ene ya mabaha no. Membeka bibia monteda because Quran mpemfo achro Quran e Takoradi for so many years, but bibi kakra me pese meka ne se onyankopon etumi so nipa ehwe asetina yeti mu sese abrabo ayemu yewo mu sese eye nsohwe na onyankopon e de soyen ahwe na okotre exam eya ye makisa exam no ye ma wo A+ e no kire se wa pass ye ma wo F e no kire se wa fail inti kakra meka kire Takoradi for any say kidnapping way enye bibi fufro e ma won dream say because say ye bota di din a na e di bibi boni e bata hunti o confidence level enkofo ana ukoye bibi mpo a usuro. When you do that, then you are emboldening the kidnappers. Say they have changed your way of life. We shouldn't accept that. Inti mesre obia nkoso anye na ejuma obia nkoso entia embo ne bra se ne obo bambofo eye kakra omo bitumi se ne be ya nisi in the case of Takoradi young ladies no in Sibium and ye maame no monso ye to mofo kakra se kane no ye de bibi foforo be fia mo bisai mo wo he kane no ansa nipa beto asase baako na waye ejuma for 15 years 20 years se say there obi di 21. Even to me, it's wrong to be successful young. There be obi ohwa ye di medjuma or ye dia fine. But emrante edda anopa anadwo na omupi. Omubebe fie na ahemache. Onton tomatoes, onton handkerchief, onko school. Saka no ehi na onya sika etoy. Nti wo say ye bisem emrante a ye nuanom overnight no nipa ni di sika boom abafie. Yentwe ye ho every sika no yempo sika no se ne be ya entotoye ne yenhyehyeye a wo se ye e de aboye ho ban ne be ye emama awa miense ya sebe ye ku omo ya yi kidnapping nipa ne bosuafo e wo sika se ne be ya obeka se obe state amount bi se momma se ansa mejano but Emphonia yehu on TV so actually said they come from very modest backgrounds. Inti ya chini pe kun. Adenti na ye sa moja hwiegui. Ebia juju ni bia ka se mepe nipe ni mepe ne nofu mepe na koma ana mepe ne tekrema. Tekrema so unko supermarket na wakoto tekrema. Just ukunipa. Inti yenye very careful. The reputation we have in this beautiful city of Takoradi is not lost on us. Inti me boni tofa asema ede me free in crime abaha enono And I'm buying so me who send cramofo tidy, we are very well organized. Remember my boss, so some years ago, I had Saidu Jello, LED, hijab campaign. Let me name no at that time. But me sure send a Takoradi for organize it. Mr. Larum so I catch him say, a Bama quarantine and Sema, say, more to near my ye. There should be one syllabus. Makarante BIA so. I believe, sir, I will say you could do destination. Why any penny mono should not be a subject of contention. More area bina makaranta no you do and do no more. Come together. The headmasters of the makaranta can come together and streamline the things we are supposed to do. Wallahi nieme hu Takoradi amami enije papa na me ka say yesu Kumasi a headquarters of Islam, but the organization I've seen in Takoradi last time I'm by it was under the auspices of the regional imam. Intimebano, meaning national chief imam nebaye on this very podium, unless maybe say Omwasisa make aside 3 years ago. My bad this time, and the things I've seen are an improvement of what I saw the other time. Intimebon pai, onyankopon ahye yebo say asetina yewo mui obe testing or testi won so a o say onya ho abotre enti yema ye ho abotre. The tidy incident, a big dream say it is going to stop foreign investors from coming to Ghana. I say Takoradi and all that. But I believe kidnappings go on in other parts. There was a Russian. Obina or my client as a security consultant. Or a Russian in East Legon or kidnapping. Or kidnapping so now more changing the location. Or more than ha, no more than ha. Nidin the Ramsey, no you're mining no yeah. At the end of the day, Omujan and those who kidnapped them were not Africans, they were from Russia. Inti where a buy is said near Tawantawa be brave, near the way the police handled Nene Kikahono. Mesre, as much as possible, we should avoid such things. Send a bear, Gideon Rishimo, a bewo, a timimo force, bambo force, or mobile boy, a mobile, young surely. May that separate Sa Queenie, and the bompire said, Nia ye bia, and Danny Onyankupon inti, and a ye. And a Takoradi Cramophone, Christophoina, and the bompire say, and Kabumwa, first say, and Damuntemno. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen that bond. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make Takoradi the very starting point of the Islamic revolution that will make life better for all Ghanaians. Thank you so much. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Thank you.